Good day, everyone. So today I'll be discussing fault analysis in renewable and inverter-based system. So as we all know, power systems are rapidly evolving, especially with the integration of renewable energy sources like solar and wind. So because of this, the way faults behave in the system is also changing, and that's what we focus on today. So here are the topics that I'll be covering. So I'll start with how solar PV systems contribute during faults, followed by the wind turbines generators. Then I'll explain inverter fault current limitations and the difference between grid following and grid forming converters. Finally, I'll discuss how all of these affect in protection schemes. So by the end of this discussion, you should be able to analyze how renewable sources contribute to fault current, compare inverter-based systems with traditional synchronous generators, perform basic fault calculations, and understand the challenges in protection system. So traditionally, power systems were dominated by asynchronous generators. So these machines naturally produce very high fault currents due to their physical characteristics. But today, we are moving toward renewable systems, which are most inverter based. So these systems behave very differently, especially during faults. So in these slides, it shows the key difference in fault current level. So the synchronous generators can produce around 5 to 10 per unit fault current, while solar PV systems only produce around 1 to 1.5 per unit, and the wind systems around 1 to 2 per unit. So clearly, renewable systems contribute much lower fault currents compared to traditional generators. Solar PVs are systems that are inverter based and do not have rotating parts, so meaning they don't have stored mechanical energy. So because of this, their fault current is controlled electronically and is usually limited to protect the inverter components. So for solar PV, the fault current can be modeled using this equation. So if IF or fault current is equals to K times the rated current, where K is typically ranges from 1 to 1.5. So this means the fault current is only using slightly higher than the normal operating current. So let me walk through you this example. So we are given 10 megapower PV system operating at 13.8 kilovolts with K equal to 1.2. So first, we compute the base current using P over square root of 3 times your volts. So this gives us approximately 410 amperes. Then we multiply by 1.2 to get the fault current, which is around 502 amperes. So if you notice that this is relatively low compared to what a synchronous generator would produce. So wind turbines can be classified into two types, the DFIG and the full cover converter systems. So the type of generator used significantly affects how the system behaves during faults. So for the DFIG systems, the fault current is moderate and decays over time. So for full converter systems, the behavior is similar to solar PV, meaning the current is limited and controlled. So again, we see reduced fault current compared to traditional systems. So the inverter-based systems typically limit their fault current to around 1 to 2 per unit. So the current also decays very quickly. So this is mainly to protect the semiconductor devices inside the inverters. So grid following converters depend on the grid voltage to operate. So they cannot generate their own voltage. So during faults, their contribution is very minimal. So in some cases, they may even disconnect. So on the other hand, the grid forming converters, however, can establish voltage on their own. Compare the current to the recent slide. So they behave more like traditional generators and can support the system during faults. So providing a higher fault current compared to grid following converters. So as shown here, this is the grid following converters do not provide voltage control, while the grid forming converters do. So this is also affects their fault current contribution with grid forming converters providing better support. So in this example, we combine the contribution from a generator, PV systems, and wind system. So adding them together, we get a total fault current of 6.7 per unit. So you can see that the generator still contributes the largest portion. So one major issue with renewable system is reduced fault current. So because of this, protective relays may not detect faults properly. So this leads to coordination problems and possible system instability. So to address these challenges, new protection methods are being used, such as adaptive protection, communication-based relays, and wide area monitoring systems. So these approaches allow better detection and coordination. So in this part, I will use the online MATLAB. There's a free version because the licensed version is has a very as a technical issue. So I'll use the free version to stimulate fault current behavior. So the goal is to compare how a generator PV system and the wind system respond during fault. So here, you can see the rapid changes. Okay. Based on the simulation results, so we can see the generator maintains a high fault current over time. So the PV system, however, shows a rapid decay in current. So the wind system falls somewhere in between. So this clearly demonstrates the difference in behavior. This scenario, we consider a system with high solar penetration. So when a fault occurs, the overall fault current is very low, so which can delay the operation. So this highlights a real world issue in modern power systems. Summarize renewable systems reduce overall fault current levels. So inverters controls in limit current distribution and traditional protection schemes may no longer be effective. So this is why protection systems must be redesigned. So these are the reference used in the presentation, including standard textbooks and international standards like IEEE and IEC. So thank you very much for watching and listening to my presentations. You have a great day ahead. God bless.